Why, hello there. I didn't see you come in, but I've got a little bit of bad news. You see, I'm afraid you're cursed! Cursed to watch the end of this episode on day 6 of MIAMAFV 2!
Big Dick is back in town!
Bring me the bat!
Oh my god!
Because I'm an idiot!
I am excited today, ladies and gentlemen, because this is actually a video I've wanted to make for a long time. Behind the meme. Because frankly, the subject matter of this video is my favorite subject matter, me! And more specifically, one of my videos, my most popular video, and the people's reaction to it since it came out over 2 years ago. Defying stereotypes in Oshite Galko-chan, best anime ever. By far, my most popular video of all time. And there are many unique characteristics of this video that I wanted to discuss in depth, because nobody else is going to do it, and no one's going to care nearly as much as I do. Because it has been truly fascinating watching the audience develop for this video, and frankly, when it came out, watching it launch my channel. The video does sit now at 1.4 million views, almost triple my next lowest video with the Smash ones. And as a longtime video creator myself, I thought this would be educational to describe what it's like for a memesman, for a video creator such as myself, to watch their video travel through the internosphere and let people know what my intentions were compared to what the reaction was, and comment on some of the interesting things that came out of it. This video came out something like 1 week before MIAMAFV, and something interesting happened then. I just passed a personal milestone of 17,000 subs, which is a goal I had in mind because my old channel Bewb had never crossed 17,000 subs and I was always hoping to, so that was kind of my baseline. BestGuyEver had just done that, and then this Galco video came out, which of course was edited by the wonderful Snooping Turtle. Everyone should check out his channel too. We're gonna do some more work, me and him. Keep an eye out. The two of us had worked on this video for something like 6 months. Now, of course, I was working full time, so it wasn't like I was dedicating every single day to working on it, and other videos came out in the meantime, but this was like my big project back in the era when I used to take 6 months to release them. You might say Ghost in the Shell took a little longer, but don't worry about that. First of all, I'd been turned on to the manga and show by Digibro in the end of 2016, and I loved it so much, I knew I had to make a video about it, just like I had done with the Best Anime Ever One Punch Man video before that, and the Monster Musume one, etc. In retrospect, I would chalk it up to the irreverent tone of the show, the consistently beautiful still images. The animation itself isn't amazing or anything, but the individual artwork, panel by panel, does look great. And the short, less than 10-minute episodes that was so digestible and it didn't need to be any longer. Mwah! Absolute perfection. Still recommend it highly. Also, I like all the characters and it's actually funny. So the point is, over, I don't know, maybe it took like a week, a month, something like that for me to write up a script. Had all the ideas about how the structure was gonna go. I knew I wanted to do this Breakfast Club tie-in at the end, and I shipped it off to Snooping Turtle to do the largest bulk of the editing. I was focused still on getting the final Breakfast Club shot nailed. Because in case you don't know, these shots are possibly what took the most time out of anything, because I was trying to find a location that would work well to recreate the shot at the end of the Breakfast Club. It was really important to me. I am a huge perfectionist when it comes to this stuff, that I find something that could work, and it took so long. I was cruising around looking for spots to do it, and eventually I found the Xavier campus in Cincinnati, Ohio. It wasn't too far away from me, so on several different days and on several different locations on the campus, I went scouting for places to record that final live-action scene alone. I had no help. It was a true nightmare. So just picture me sitting there alone on the baseball field, which is where the final shot was recorded, on 3 or 4 separate days and at different times of day, trying to get the lighting right, trying to make sure the camera was in focus. I ain't got no automatic focus on my fucking camera. This guy just trying to get his like 16,000 sub channel to be blasted off with another best anime ever that hopefully the people actually care about this time. That's where I put my fucking energy. In the end, I was pretty happy with how everything came out. It captured the idea I wanted to convey. It brought my ideas into life, so what more could you want? So the video was released, and some of my friends who I talked to said it was like pretty good. They weren't like blown away by it, because it's a relatively pedantic take on Oshite Galko. It's not like I'm a genius or anything. As I say in the video, the things I point out are pretty clear. And personally, when I watch the video back now, I do feel a little bit embarrassed by a few things. One, how corny many of the jokes are, which I felt at the time of writing and producing, and when you're a creator, you just gotta think to yourself sometimes, fuck it, it's a joke, some people might enjoy it, other people will cringe, but hopefully they won't kill me in my sleep. Let's just move on. And even now in my YouTube career, I guess it's becoming a real career now, you guys, I do very little script writing on the whole. If you look at the videos on my channel, the vast majority of them do not have scripts. And I've always felt like this is something I really need to improve on. I really looked up to guys like Digi for being able to produce a script quickly and get their video done, so that's always been a big inspiration to me. Guys like Hypocrite and Endless Jess as well, found tons to admire in their work. So the point is, I thought this was a good, not amazing video when it was released, but it had some good things that I liked, and I really resonated with the non-stereotyping idea in Galko-chan. I was way into it. It's obviously kind of a virtue signaling. It's what the kids are gonna like these days, kind of immoral. And I've noticed that particularly my scripts, when I write them out, they tend to skew saccharine. I have a tough time writing out really funny jokes in a script or keeping my comedic edge so that the scripts can come out okay. You know, the videos do just fine. That, my Gurren Lagann videos, those are great. But my desire for irony really spikes when I watch a lot of my old scripted content. Number one of this being the Undertale video. Anyway, the point is, the video is finally out on April 23rd or whatever it was. I'm pretty pleased. Snooping Turtle did a great job, so it's time to kick back and see what happens. Little did I know that my goal of hitting 17,000 subs was going to be utterly devastated in the next few days, in a good way. My channel doubled in size due to this one video in under a week. And I remember thinking to myself that, oh no, I planned to do MIAMAFV after this really successful video came out that so many people have subbed for. Am I gonna scare them all away with these videos? Which, by the way, is something I'm kind of dealing with right now, doing MIAMAFV too. So hopefully it works out positively in the long run. But in the end, I finished MIAMAFV and I just sat back and enjoyed the success of the video. And now let's talk about why it succeeded. So the first and most interesting thing to note about this video in the context of my channel is that my channel is like 90% male viewership on the whole. Look at that bad boy. It's an absolute sausage fest around here. Where are my bitches at? Well, I'll tell you where they at. They are in this fucking video because this video has like 80% female viewership. This one video completely stands out in my catalog and single-handedly is responsible for the vast majority of all the female viewership on my entire channel. And I think that is just fascinating. Time to go full sex realist on everybody! This video was about a series about female characters, about positive affirmations, and about being less judgmental of others. As I'm sure you know, enlightened viewer, the Galco show is extremely female-oriented, but not just female. It gets into the nitty-gritty shit that people are too embarrassed to talk about, like periods and inverted nipples and shit like this. This thick-ass bitch shows up to the pool and has not shaved her pubes, so she has to borrow a razor from her friend. This is the kind of stuff discussed in the show. And I loved it because it's like the real shit, you know? And it was hilarious, and it didn't pull its punches, and it was just great. But beyond that, let's talk about the subject of my video, defying stereotypes. So in the video, in my particularly edgy / saccharine way, I talk about how it's fucked up to be judgmental of other people. Now, of course, sometimes you gotta make some assumptions when people are around, but on lots of occasions, you're gonna make bad calls about people, and you really gotta get to know somebody. I mean, I'm a hugely individualistic person. Fuck identitarians. Fuck people separating into cliques. I could be friends with literally anyone in the world if you just sit me down with them across from them at a table and give me 5 minutes to talk some shit. And that's true of most people across the world, as far as I'm concerned. Unless we got some, like, earth-shatteringly gigantic divide in our worldviews. Which do exist. I mean, it's true. There's some just genuinely bad people, or people that I would just be fundamentally incompatible with, but that's not the majority of people on the planet. And I certainly wouldn't want to make any judgments based purely on their identity. See, already, you can hear it right now, this sounds really virtue signaling, and I think that's a major appeal of the video. And I won't shy away from it, I absolutely leaned into it hard. But here was the thing, and this is the key thing I wanted to discuss about my video. In the video, I talk about how there's like the fat girl, Nikuko, how she's really good at sports, and how, of course, there's Otako, and all these other characters who defy what you might expect them to be. Chief amongst them, of course, being Galko-chan, who's like a real sweetheart who cares about people. She's not a vapid bitch at all. She's a little bit naive and a little bit silly, don't get me wrong, but she's like a great person, so, you know, fuck you if you judge her. But I mean, let's analyze this a little bit deeper. I mean, look at Nikuko, for example. She's shown to be a member of a futsal team, which is like a soccer variant, but a deliberate emphasis is placed upon her speediness. And while, to be fair, the comparison being made is between her and her fellow high schoolers, who aren't at the peak of athleticism athleticism or anything, so she might not be anything amazing compared to like a track member or something. It is a little odd considering that futsal is like soccer, that this would be her sport of choice. Her frame doesn't exactly look built for it. Seems like she should be more of like a rugby player or something, but no. They say futsal. And it is not lost on me that the whole point of Galco is that we're not supposed to judge people on how they look, we judge them on their individual characteristics. And there could be a big chunky person who happens to be a speedster, but this one does seem to be somewhat infringing upon the natural laws of this world, you know? And don't give me any of this shit about how it's an anime so the rules don't apply, you can't judge people by how they look or whatever. The whole point of the show is that it's relatable. So we can't use that standard for other characters and then totally throw it out for one. We gotta be consistent here. They're trying to stretch things a little bit thin in the whole don't be judgmental thing. Real life is not like anime. The physics just wouldn't work out. However, on my discussion about Galco and not judging her and whatnot, because Galco herself is judged negatively by the people around her, bimboified and thought to be vapid and whatnot, until she gets a chance to prove them completely wrong. And this is like the main point of the show. So to spell it out, I think a large part of why this video was so popular was because of my rampant female body positivity. However, that was never really my intention. The thing about me is, I've been a long-time pro-slut advocate. Less so now, but especially at the time, I thought to myself, sluts are out there doing great work for the rest of us dudes, and I need to support them. The reasons my feelings on this change have nothing to do with me, because the male economy, frankly, is well served by a lot of sexy DTF ladies out there in the world, but I was just thinking that for their own benefit, being less promiscuous seems like it generally works out better, so it's not about me telling you what to do. I'm not casting any judgments. I'm just trying to look out for my lady friends. That's all. Yes, Galco's a girl who takes really good care of herself and chooses to dress relatively provocatively, but should she be shamed for this? Should she be judged for it? No, she should be celebrated for doing a public service to the rest of us by being so hot. And I'm out here advocating for women to do the same. I want to enjoy the beautiful women of the world, and I need to make them feel good about themselves to do it. If you call that manipulative, hey, that's on you. I call it being supportive. Not to mention, she didn't choose to be super thick with massive tits and a big ass and all that stuff. She literally can't help but be attractive to other people. That can actually be a burden. Because you know, hot girls, honestly, they've got a lot of issues to deal with in life. I've heard it said that hot girls are like men going through life who are carrying a giant diamond. Everyone's turning their head to get a look, and they all want to get involved. Obviously, I'm being reductionist here, but this is the point. It's tough for hot girls out there. This is what Galco was all about. This girl was getting judged, and she didn't deserve that. And we need to support our hot sisters. And brothers, I guess, but I ain't into that gay shit, bro, as far as you know. I'm all about self-improvement, you know? I'm all about self-betterment, and I want to do right by those who are making the right choices in life, and I include looking hot as one of them. Which is why I brought up Nikuko before, because the thing about her in relation to this video is that I'm not body positive in the sense of like, every body is like equally good and equally healthy. I think there are some pretty clear physical indicators of what a healthy body looks like, and Nikuko is a fitness god, you know, that's stated clearly in the show, so maybe she has got like that husky rugby body or something and she's super healthy. That seems to be what's implied, but I think it would be unrealistic to say that most people who have her body type in the real world are actually fit and fully healthy. So I don't want to get into a whole big thing here, but I'm just saying, I don't think this girl's running every day. I'm never trying to tell anybody what they need to do in life. I'm just giving some observations. And it seemed to me like some people did take my message of being pro-slut and make it kind of a more general body positive idea, which was just interesting to note because that was really never my intention. And now, ladies and gentlemen, beyond all that, it's time to laugh at you for laughing at the shitty jokes that I put into this video. With editing help by Snoopy Turtle, of course. I'm just gonna say the W word. Weaponized thickness. I can't believe you laughed at that, you idiot! Okay, the weaponized thickness thing has been the weirdest phenomenon for me because I've made several jokes in my YouTube career history that I just thought were kind of okay and just threw them in the script and weren't really thinking about them, but some of them just get picked up and get called hilarious while I, the person who made them, do not understand. Back in the pony days, I made this little clip where I was screaming about Mod Pie. Give it a listen.
I'm Phantom Horn.
I want to fuck that horse!
And that's Keg Standard.
I'd like to tell you a little story, everyone. When I listen to this, the main thing I hear is bad audio mixing. I didn't fade out the audio as I was leaving. Okay, but point is, it's kind of amusing. Like, I did it as a joke on purpose, but it doesn't seem that funny to me. And yet, this was one of the biggest memes of the Bewb channel at the time. People ate that shit up. I'm gonna fuck that horse! Idiots! This is how I feel about the weaponized thickness meme. And just for the sake of argument, let's listen to it.
You fucking with my man? Real women have curves, bitch! She has weaponized thickness for the forces of good!
This clip has been re-uploaded to Tumblr, to YouTube. People have shouted it all throughout the internet. Yeah, I'm gonna name drop. As a result of this video, Jessica Nagiri subbed to my channel for a time, although she also long since unsubscribed. That's the target audience I was aiming for. Big titty hot girls. Cause those are the people who can really say, Galco's just like me. Not the 15-year-old girl who's so upset cause like her friends don't get the real her. Oh my god, Galco is just like me.
The point being, none of us are like Galco. We're all bad people. Galco's a good person. She's better than all of us. However, her specific issues are like hot girl issues, and I guess more general, just girl issues. Of course, we can all relate to Galco's feelings of alienation and her more general social issues. You can pick and choose that stuff and say that you're like that, but to say that you're like Galco is far too much praise to give oneself and makes me recoil.
The reaction to weaponized thickness was instantaneous. It was explosive. It took the world by storm! I'm exaggerating a bit, but people did things like ask me to make t-shirts of it, you know, it gets quoted at me a lot, blah 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 blah. I mean, the context is good, the writing is good, my vocal inflection is good. I wish that I'd put some reverb on this the way I do with other meme lines, like this right here. That's how you know it's funny. Please laugh. What can I say? I just don't think it's that funny. Frankly, it seems like some Reddit shit. But I'm the one who made it. The most red-pilled MGTOW of them all!
For years now, and even as I sit here right now, I know I should make weaponized thickness t-shirts. I know people would buy them because they're way into it, but it's too embarrassing. Like, I don't think it's good enough to do, and I just feel like that would be totally lame. So here I sit, not doing it, throwing away the opportunity. I'm a slave to my passions.
But see this line, this whole weaponized thickness thing, this absolutely feeds into the whole body positivity thing I was talking about for, which I never really intended to. I'm talking about thick biz, man. Thick biz like Galco. I mean, look at Galco and look at Nikuko. One of these things is not like the other. And I mean, hey, if you're more into Nikuko, that's fine. I'm just not. That's all. But see, for me, with my erudite, massive intellect, I like the more subtle jokes. Like, when I called a ragamuffin fuckboy. See, that play on words, that's funny. That's funny. And I guess it's funny in the same way as weaponized thickness. It just doesn't feed into like a big meme as much that people can latch onto with this whole body positivity thing and whatnot. So, on the whole, my intention for this video was to be a pro-slut anthem. And just to be clear, slut is a joke. Galco's a fucking saint, and I love her for being a sexy bitch. And frankly, the same goes for all you women out there in the world. I consider it a public service that you are doing good. Like when generals came home from winning a battle in ancient Rome, and they built a bathhouse for the public to enjoy. This is how I think of attractive women in real life. By the grace of God, they're giving us this gift, and I thank them. And frankly, I'm trying to do my part by being like a decent male who can be worthy of one. And so far, I think it's working out. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I guess that'll about do it. These are my insights into the creation, development, release, and reaction to the Galco video. It was the video that really propelled my channel into relevance. It's interesting to compare it to my other top videos. Like the K. Rool Smash video is the next one down. And that one I feel like that's pure me. That's like real Nibba Nate. The Galco one feels, at least now to me, to be like more of a product, like a marketed thing, you know? And I'm not even saying this is necessarily bad. I think that it's necessary when you're a professional in the field. You have to be willing to act professional and step outside your direct comfort zone. You've got to cater to your customers or your audience. So this whole thing has been a fascinating learning experience for me. And to this day, the views on that video outstrip like everything else I'm producing. I release a new video, the views are high the first couple days, and boom, it just goes underneath, and then that constant Galco viewership just stays high above. The only concerning thing about it is, how am I gonna top it? Frankly, I don't think I'll be able to. At least not the normal way. The kind of content I really want to be producing, like the Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann Part 1 and 2, and the Smash videos, those are great, but will they capture the kind of zeitgeist that this Galco video did? which was mostly unintentional. I knew the idea I wanted to convey, and I knew that that would be a relatively popular idea, but for my standards for myself, which I admit are very high, I only thought it was like good, not truly amazing. Though I did do my best to market it well. I tried to title it in a catchy way. You may notice that for the first time, I put Best Anime Ever at the end of the video and started with Defying Stereotypes, which is a little more catchy. And of course I followed Digibro's advice and made the thumbnail just a close-up of a cute-ass girl. And I really think that that has served me well. Thanks, buddy. Anyway, there's your trip down memory lane for the Galco video. It is an interesting milestone in my history, and while it may be tough, I'm gonna work hard to overcome it. My ultimate goal is for my artistic vision of a video to rise above the low-level zeitgeist. A zeitgeist is for pussies. New releases is for pussies. Artistic integrity and an idea for a video above all. The Mr. B-Tongue approach, the Matthew Matosis approach, and the Digibro approach with some of their biggest videos, this is what I wish to capture myself. And we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching this, day 6 of MIAMAFV 2. It's been a hell of a time, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!